Loves, it's Andrew B and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are talking all about how to lay your edges, to slay your edges. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Angelica. If you are not new, then welcome back. You guys know I post tons of hair videos. I post videos on how to grow your hair, how to grow your edges. And in this video, I thought I'd show you an updated how I lay my edges. Very extra. I don't do this every day. I don't do it when it's extremely humid, but if you want to know how I do this to my type 4 hair, this is type 4 hair, okay? If you want to know how I lay my type 4 edges, then just stay tuned. I show you every single tip and technique. And if you want to see more of these kinds of videos, as you watch this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button. It'll be linked right down there, as well as the bell icon. That ensures that you guys get notifications every single time I post a video. So do that if you're interested. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so starting off, I'm using my favorite toothbrush for my edges, and I'm just taking this spray bottle. It is filled with a little bit of conditioner, and it's a Herbal Essences conditioner and plain water, nothing else. You can actually even just use plain water. It's just that I was using this as like a leave-in conditioner, so I thought might as well. And I use this to just spray my edges down just to make my edges like a little bit wet, softer, and a little bit more manageable. If you don't have type 4 hair, you probably don't need to do this, but I like to do this entire process also because hair gel and edge control can be quite drying. So this is like a pre-step. Now I'm taking my favorite leave-in conditioner. It is by Cream of Nature, and I'm just taking a little bit of that, rubbing it between my fingers as you saw, and putting this all over my edges as well. And I nicely massage that in to make them nice and soft. Then I seal all that in with my favorite oil mix. Like I always say, if you want a video on oil mixes, let me know and I'll make one. But it's basically just olive oil, avocado oil, a little bit of castor oil, peppermint oil, and tea tree oil. Yes, it's kind of a lot, but whatever. I put that all over my edges, and I put quite a bit because it helps the edges be really nice and soft and lay really nicely. So I put the oil all over my edges as well. You can take this opportunity to moisturize the rest of your hair if you like, but I had already done that the day before, so I'm just focusing on my edges. And now this is the part where you get your favorite brush. This is like a really soft brush. I got it off Amazon. It's a boar bristle brush, and I'm using this to brush all my hair back so that when I'm pulling out the amount of hair I use for my edges, I can control it. And this is what I'm doing right now with the toothbrush. I'm not actually shaping it. I'm just having an idea of how it's going to look, because I like to do this with no product so that I'm not putting excess product on hair that is not going to be laid. So I just pull all those hairs out using my toothbrush, and I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. And then we're going to move on to our next step, which is edge control. This is my favorite edge control by Design Essentials. Like I said, also everything, if I didn't say in the beginning, everything I'm mentioning is going to be linked in the description box below. Now, I don't put this on my toothbrush. I just put it directly onto my hair with my finger, and it's pretty clear, so you basically can't see it, but I just put enough all the way on my edges, but I don't put it on the ends, just on the main hair, because when I start doing the swoops like this, the edge control is going to go towards the ends as well. And this is the part that took the longest. It is so annoying because the first swoop is always perfect, but then once you start doing the rest of them, then it starts going south. But I wanted like a kind of continuation, like a nice flow between the swoops, and this is definitely my more dramatic edges. I don't do this every day, and it is extremely hot and humid right now, so it's hard for the edges to lay. But as you can see, once I lay them, I brush all the excess hairs back with the same brush again, and then when I want to make like a more defined kind of swoop, like the last bottom part there, I just use the comb part, because that helps make a really nice defined kind of swoop. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, and I didn't mention, this is another brush I got from Amazon. It's just a dual-sided brush. I bet there are tons of them. We don't have them in the beauty supply stores here, so I had to order it off Amazon. And on this side, you guys can see that this is kind of the natural direction that my baby hair grows in. So instead of taking it on one side, I always kind of swoop it in two opposite directions compared to the other side of my head. And as you can see, I keep flipping between the brush side and the comb side, and it's easy. As you see, I follow the swoop with my finger, and then I just kind of direct it where I want to go using both the brush and my finger. And then for my little sideburn kind of area, I also sometimes get this rat tail comb just to help make that little swirl you know, the little Betty Boop kind of swirl right at the end. And that is how I did it. And then for the final step, I always have to put a gel. Now, if you don't have type 4 hair, again, like me, or it's a cold kind of place and your hair doesn't lift up, then the edge control will just be enough. For me, it is not enough. I have to put hair gel on top. So I'm using the Eco Styler gel, and I'm just using my finger mostly. This side already started to lift up again, like I said, because it's so hot. So I had to kind of re-swoop the edges again, but the other side was basically fine. So this is where most of the magic happens. You put the gel on top and it makes the hair even softer than the edge control, but the edge control really controls like the direction and how the hair is going to stay. So I actually still do advise to use both edge control and gel, but if you only have one, you know what you gotta do. But this is basically the finished look, and to make the little swirl at the end here, I just kind of swirled it around in my finger and then just stuck it down. And then I'm doing the same thing to the little sideburn area. I make like a little swirl and then I bring it all the way down and swirl the end. This is way easier to watch than me explaining, but I'm trying my best. Now onto the other side. Like I said, the hair is still nice and laid down on this side. Only the little bottom piece is the one that needed to be, rebrushed. So I went ahead and did that. The same with my sideburn little area there, and I just did the exact same thing I did with the edge control. Swooped it down and then used the back of the rat tail comb just to curl it in a little bit. And now it's time for my favorite chain scarf, and I just wrapped this around my edges and I tied it. Now you want to make sure this is kind of thick like I did in terms of the width, and the reason for this is because you want all your edges to be covered, because the edges that are not covered by the scarf will lift up, and that is the purpose of us putting this scarf. You can use one of those things they use to wrap wigs around as well. It's like a shiny band kind of thing. I think the Ali Pearl brand has one. Um, if I find a picture of it, I'll show it. But you can just use any silk or satin scarf. Make sure your edges are covered and just do it like this. And the way your hair lays is the way it slays. It has to completely dry before you take it off. So I left this on for 10 minutes. But then I remembered I wanted to do a head wrap. So I just put my head wrap over and then put the scarf back over where my edges were until they were completely dry, which actually took about 15 minutes. And this was the finished look when I took it off. Extra crispy, extra fresh looking edges. I loved how they turned out. And here I was just adjusting my scarf a little bit so you could see my edges, and that's basically it. Okay, so this is the finished product. As you can see, I went ahead and put a head wrap, but I didn't put it over my edges, and I just tied the scarf back over my edges, and this is the final product. I am very happy with it. It took me so long today, and I think it was just the pressure of being on camera and the heat from the light and all that, but in general it actually doesn't take that long, guys, so don't be scared. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit my face right there if you want to subscribe to this channel and you didn't in the beginning. Also, watch the 2 videos that are going to be on the side of the screen right here because you guys might be interested in them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!